name's Jimmy.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Rod.
Today we're going to be taking a look at a deck builder. Don't quit watching. But we're looking at another deck builder called Ascension, and this is their newest one called Realms Unraveled. So Rod, you want to tell us what comes in the box?
Sure. And we all know that this is going to come with cards, first of all. Being that it is a deck builder. One of the things that we, of course, always look at is the quality of the card itself, how thick it is, the artwork on it. And again, this is a very good quality. The artwork is nice, as you can see with the instruction manual. It has a good feel to it. It's its own world, so it's not like anything that I'm familiar with. So it's they're doing it all themselves. So I have found that the artwork is really nice for how the game flows, and it does a good job at it. The box itself, as you can see, is it's a nice sturdy box. And I know it's kind of silly sometimes to talk about stuff like this, but there are companies that put some cheap stuff out there, and so I'm going to talk about it. And you have the container to hold the cards. The one that we kind of talked about was that there are no expansions for this game due to come out, and they give you a lot of room for expansions. So obviously it's an old insert that they use for the other games, but it is very, very nice. They give you a board game. They give you a
nice board game.
Exactly.
They give you a board game.
That is nice.
That's one of the nicest things I've ever seen in a board game. But the other ones don't actually come with the board.
Yeah, some other deck builders, yeah.
Right. So I mean, so again, nice. The pieces right here, and this I know someone else will have a comment about, but
well, I want to say something real quick.
Do what they're supposed to do.
I love Ascension. Ascension's really cool. It has a bunch of different aspects to deck builders.
Hey, we'll get to that later.
But
yeah, exactly.
We're
talking
it's
components.
just those things right there.
So back to the instructions, Jordan, back to the instructions. It's about 18 pages of instructions, a lot of artwork, a lot of examples in it to show you basically all the situations that could occur in the game. They show you and how to handle it. So it's not a very difficult game if you're used to the main. So if you're used to playing one before, we've all kind of followed that. But this does give you all the different variables. So very, very nicely done by the company. So I think all in all, real good job.
Great. Well, let's talk about how Ascension plays. If you've ever played any kind of a deck builder, then you understand the basic concept. The concept is that you'll have a deck of cards that you'll use to buy other cards, or in this instance, you'll be defeating enemies as well. But you're just going to find a card that's out here in the, I don't know what you call this, the gauntlet, the middle, this line. And so if you have enough points to either buy the card or defeat the enemy, then you get to do that. So if it's an enemy, you can pick that guy up and send him to the void and get any kind of reward that comes from that, honor points. Or if it's a card that you add to your deck, then you'll put that in your discard pile. And then once you've used off all your cards, you shuffle them back into your hand. I believe you draw 5 cards, and then you're able to use all of those 5 cards to create combos. So what makes Ascension a little bit different, and I guess we'll kind of talk about that because that's what's important. What makes Ascension a little bit different is they kind of add a few things that kind of make for some neat combos that are different than some other deck builders, maybe like Legendary, where all of your combos are basically just getting more cards in your hand or more points to attack someone with. Some of the things that they do a little differently, they introduced factions. So there's different races, I guess you could say, of these alien people, and so there's different types. And so you play some cards that give you benefits if you already had another faction in your hand, or if you already played a faction of that type. I hope that makes sense. But basically, if you already played a transformed, or a lifebound, a lifeblood, or a lifebound, or a Makana, whatever it is, if you already played that, then you might have a card in your hand that says you get something because you already played that. So that's one aspect to the game. Another aspect is what the game calls constructs. And so a construct is a card that you would buy, put it into your deck. When it comes out again, you can actually play that, and then it stays on the playing field. So it gives you an added benefit. And then those constructs can compound. So if you continue to play the same kind of faction, you get bigger and better benefits. So it's rewarding you for playing the same type, or playing cards that work together, I guess. And then another aspect that this deck builder introduces is transformations. So there's actually a whole nother deck of cards in the box that if you complete the requirements listed on a card certain cards in your hand can transform, which is really neat because it turns into a card that's not in the deck, that you can't buy. The only way you get that card is if you fulfill all the conditions, and then it's cool because you take that card, put it in the box, you get a new card, you put that into your hand. And so that's a really neat thing because some of those conditions in order to transform a card are pretty complicated. So it might be like you have to play one of each faction, or you might have to do this combo or whatever. So it's neat because as you play that card or you see that card, you know that that card could transform, but you're like, oh my goodness, I just have to get one more card. And so you might see a card that you could buy, so you're thinking a few turns ahead. And then when those cards transform, it also gives you a lot better benefits. So it might increase what it can do for you. So that's the reward for wanting to work to get that card to transform. The game is all based off of honor points, and that's what these are. So you got the little clear ones that are worth 1 and the big red ones that are worth 5, and I know Jordan has something to say about these in a minute. But that's what the whole game is based off of. So you get honor points when you kill an enemy, when you send them to the void, and then also at the bottom of your card, it tells you that there's honor points for the card itself. So at the end of the game, you'll add up how many points you got from killing things, and then you'll get the points that your cards are worth. Whoever has the most points wins the game. So that's pretty much it. So what do you guys have to say maybe about the components or about the gameplay, anything like that? Let's just talk.
I would like to say that we were not excited about this game. We were at GenCon, and
Yeah.
we got tired and we wanted to sit down, and we were like, let's just demo a game. And the only one that was open was Ascension. So we sat down and we played it, we demoed it, and then like the second we got up, we got it.
Yeah.
It was actually a really, really good game. The only problem I have with it, I mean, it doesn't change the fact of the game at all for me. Just the honor points. I've seen some of these at different like places like Hobby Lobby, and I don't know. It just feels cheap to me that they just see something at Hobby Lobby and was like, I'm just gonna buy these and put it in my game. But that doesn't change the fact that I would get it though or not.
Okay, counter argument. I thought they didn't even have to put that in the game, right? They could have put some cardboard tokens, or just said keep track of it or something. You know what I mean? But they chose to make these nice.
Yeah, it's nothing like a font of a game though. I mean,
right? Yeah. That's another story. But I just think that they didn't have to do that, and they put it into the game, so I appreciate that, you know?
No, I think that's, I mean, this adds glitter to the, I mean, it just adds glitter.
It adds glitter?
It gives us...
Just a little glitter.
It gives us the, you know, when you run out of these, that's when the game's over.
Right, yeah.
So it gives us something that's basically our...
timer.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're watching it, watch the pile go down.
Exactly.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, that's neat. I mean, I'm sold on it, quite honestly. I just love how it played. The biggest difference, you know, in this game is that transformation card, where that card transforms.
And that's glitter.
Something that I haven't played in our game. It may have been in our game, but it's pretty nice.
Yeah. And like Jordan said, we were just walking around GenCon tired, just wore out. We sat down on the table, and the guy said, "Have you played deck builders before?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "So you do this, this, and this." We're like, "Okay." And we asked him a few questions. He said, "Start playing," and so we just started playing, and it was like, wait, so a card can transform? Like, what? You know, what is this construct? So now, and it was just some neat combos that we created, and then we played it again that same night, I think, at the hotel, and we just loved it. I paid full price for this at GenCon. It was like $40. I think you can get it for under 30 on some online store. So to me, what you get for your money, even at $40, I didn't walk away regretting that purchase. Right. So I thought it was good. Anything else about the game someone needs to know?
Well, I think it's time to rate it.
Okay. At the end of our reviews, we like to give a one-die review where we say green, go buy this game. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you'd play it. Somebody else says, let's play Ascension, I'm good. And then red means don't buy it at all, and I wouldn't play it. So, all right, so we'll put down, and then we'll see. What are you doing? Okay, and go!
Oh, sugar!
Two green, two green,
flying green.
Two green and a white. Okay, so tell us why you gave it a white.
Okay, I give it a white. It's more on the green side of it, but I'm not going to give it a green because you have it. That's one of my biggest things is I'm not going to go buy it, but it is another deck builder. So, I mean, that makes it a little bit down for me, but it does change a lot of things up for deck building games, and I like it.
Which, I mean, that's not a knock, I don't think, to say, or I still think that's a valid argument to say someone else owns it. because there are some games that you say, even though Rod owns it, I want to buy it, you know, because I want to play this all the time. So maybe that speaks more to
X-Wing.
I play this every once in a while. Yeah, yeah, he's got all the X-Wing stuff. So, but I gave it a green because of the small differences that I don't feel like I'm not going to play DC deck builder. I'm just not, and this offers so much more to me than that does, where there's a little bit more that you can do. I like the theme. And I don't know, I think it's a good value for what you get out of the box.
I think it's a great entry-level game, and what I mean by that is there's a lot of deck builders out there, but if I'm going to show one right now, it's either probably going to be this one or the Marvel one, and it's one that's on my list that when we get together on a Saturday, it's probably in my top 5 list of games I want to play that day. So, I mean, for me to buy it, it's a good chance I still would buy it. So, I mean, that's the reason I gave it the green.
Great. Well, there you go. So that's our review of Ascension Realms Unraveled. So take a look online. We tell people a lot of times, look for some other reviews. There might be other guys out there that hate this game, and maybe you need to hear their opinion. But this is what we said, a white and 2 greens. So we got a lot more online. Check BoardGameCloset.com. And as always,
Support your local hobby shop. Bless you.
I was holding